this has a lot. All right, good.
And I think I did try to put the first lesson on there, which I shouldn't have done,
Yeah.
but I have no idea.
Well, if you have questions, always, you can see me about them, but David Holter is paid to be my assistant, so if he's really, if you're having struggles, he's supposed to be answering them, and helping you figure this out.
And,
That's why he's my assistant in the program.
And I did remember in a lesson that she wanted to give me she just left me, it was like sequence. It was a French name, but you couldn't find the specific one. It was upstairs.
Huh.
It began with S. It was
A piece?
French. And you had wanted to give it to me.
Yeah.
And I wrote it down in my synopsis, the name.
Oh, you
so.
did, okay, good. All right, so since I don't have a synopsis of what we did last week, I'll have to rely on you to remind me of what we did and what I assigned you, so.
It was the 2-note stroke, but you assigned.
With pieces, or, yeah, your little.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
three pieces are the pieces that
Why
I had
don't we
for
warm up
a couple.
with the 1-note stroke? You remember, have you worked on that one recently? Okay. Let's
So
just warm
one-
up on that.
one-
Yeah, those are 1-note strokes. So you can take it slightly slower, so you can just warm up. You can do free falls, whatever works. I think Megan was the last one there. Once we get the system going, it's just amazing to me, though, how long it's taken, because every week I say the same things to everybody, and it's just, it must be in the stars that we just, golly, I've never had so much trouble trying to get everybody on board with the system, the synopsis. Okay. So look at it first, sort of mentally. It's warm in here, isn't it? I think they started warming this room. I'm not sure if they're warming the others, but this one certainly is toasty. Okay.
I'm sorry.
How about? You can do it
Okay,
without.
I wasn't sure how you.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
can act.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
I was gonna say I've been playing it more musical than because.
Let's just see what you've got. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't hold. Sorry. Sorry, that
Yep.
was-
All right. Do it again. A little bit, slightly under, so you can be on top of it and not look ahead enough, so you don't have to start and stop. I think you can do that. So about and look ahead. Okay. Got it.
Sorry, I'm getting sick.
Good. And that's the kind of focus necessary, because you didn't stop, start, correct, or anything.
Yeah,
Good.
but I'm sorry. Lessons are not like playing for a teacher. Is not. I'm used to it, but it's not like.
Playing for a teacher or playing, you're used to playing for a what are you used to?
I'm
Like-
used to playing for a teacher, but it's I don't know, it's like a different amount of pressure.
Oh, it is, absolutely. Yeah, your adrenaline is high, and it is a stressor.
So like
stressors can
the
be
first
good
time
and
with you, and the second time was okay.
okay, I know it a little
Yeah.
bit better, yeah. So I'll eventually teach you how to kind of get your bottom line, so to speak, the first time. It'll be pretty high, like this one. Now, tell me if you remember just now what you did. What did that feel like physically?
Oh, I definitely wasn't doing it. I'm too focused on it to even think about my body
Yeah,
right now,
Mhm,
so.
mhm, mhm. So you understand why we're kind of notching it up the way we're doing it, so you get a program. But if you did it one more time, and you could focus just, if you can read it well enough, because you're a good reader, focus on your body more. Let's see what would happen if you just, let's say, focus on keeping your shoulders more released. Let's see what happens. Good breath. Good for you. Like you were the most free, and where do you feel like you were tightening the most?
My lower, this part was definitely the most free. But while I was playing, like when I felt my shoulders rise, I was able to release them once they got tensed up. So
right.
It's still my shoulders, but now with that, with putting having my focus between music and my body, I was able to go from music, okay, shoulders down, music, okay, shoulders down.
Right,
so.
exactly, right. And the more you know the patterns, I guess the better a reader you are in a sense, or the more you've downloaded this and actually either memorized it or learned it to where it's automatic, the easier it is. Yeah.
Now that I look at it, I haven't played that one in a couple of weeks.
Okay, which ones have you?
These two.
Okay, let's try it.
I don't know why I haven't.
But you were doing quite well on this actually. I mean, there are only a couple times where you didn't really release the pressure so the shot could transmit.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear it in the sound. It'll be a little more brittle, the sound. So let's see.
I have not played that piece in a while.
You did a good job then. But I like the awareness. I like the fact though that you're able to tell me, you know, when you're shuttling to the body, when you're thinking about the music. Because you've got enough musicality, certainly, that you're able to infuse it with musicality even as you are shuttling and checking on your shoulders. So you're doing well. All right. But you can see why, at a certain point, I can tell you that if you notched up to this without having played it with really absolutely wonderful basic stroke, you're not going to accumulate the tension, except you'd have to practice extra hard the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Why?
Staccato.
And what else? There's something else going on there in the left hand. How does that
Are you
change?
talking about the?
Yeah. A lot of hopping around. Yeah. And faster notes. Yeah. So hopping around. Anytime somebody hops, we'll work on that a lot, is how you go from one place to the other on a piano. Without tightening the forearm. Okay, so which one of these? You want to?
Okay. It doesn't matter.
I'd like the Nordisch lead. Yeah, let's see Nordisch lead.
That was too loud. Sorry. I don't want to use soft pedal.
You can use your soft pedal if you like. I'm going to do something also because you're sitting. You may be used to this, but it means you've got a very acute angle here. Hop up. I'm going to move this bench quite a bit up. Which isn't easy because this bench doesn't move easily. So that the top of your arm is really parallel. Let's see what happens there to the ground.
Yeah,
And
this goes way too high.
That feels weird, or yeah, you're used to sitting very, very low, I think.
Yeah, that's how the bench is at home and
they're low, so you're just used to it. Yeah. Okay.
that was in Sorry. I'm reading too far ahead.
You can release all these. Those shoulders, yeah. And the upper arm, very good. Good job. Some very sensitive playing there.
Okay, so there are a lot of parts that I would.
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm looking for, different people, different teachers look for different things in different lessons. In the first time, and you played this for me before, but in a while, I mean, you've been doing a lot of good body work and
I don't
racing.
think I've never played this one for you. The one I've been
I thought
playing
you
for you
had played, no, I,
all the times
okay.
was
Okay.
this one.
Interesting. I thought we'd done it at least one time through just quickly, but that was weeks ago. Okay, so what I'd say about this piece, what I'm listening for, I'm just watching how you're able to coordinate all of this. And, I mean, it's one thing to be doing a pure exercise, but it's another when you're introduced to music, for a musician to suddenly have to play music. How much of the program can you run? How much key control do you have? I'm not expecting a ton of perfect control right now. It's just more a general feeling of, okay, where's she at? She can actually focus on those shoulders, the upper arm, and all of that. Now, there is one characteristic, though, I've noticed in your playing, which I'll correct slightly, and that is, I'll put it this way, our choral conductor talks about boxes of dynamic level.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you're in the piano box, you know.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
You're not going to want to jump up to forte,
Mhm.
right, or fortissimo. Unless the composer suddenly says, okay, go from piano here to a big, huge crescendo to a forte or fortissimo within a bar. So what am I going to say? I mean,
I do like a stab at it with
Yeah.
a stab, and see that's something that I was taught to do.
Oh, okay.
Like-
Because it's more expressive.
It's more accessible. It's
It's more contrast.
it's a style, and
Mhm.
like my piano teacher, like her big thing is like for you to develop your own style. Like
Right.
if she sees you mimicking her style, then like you have to quit lessons with her.
Oh, and I'm the opposite.
Yeah, so it's like
That's great. Boy, it takes all kinds, though. You know,
so
I mean, everybody's
it's,
different.
her thing was Imani, which is style, and so
Oh,
me
okay.
as a little kid, I'm like, okay, let's just bang the piano and then go. So
And then
that's
go-
my
yeah,
and so
yeah.
as I got older in piano, that I made it go from banking to something different. So that's, I don't know, it was something that it was like, you have to have, something has to make you different from her, because you can't mimic her, you have to find your own something.
Okay. Well, I give a lot of workshops, and I frequently, especially since I studied neuroscience quite in depth for this doctorate, one of the things that was corroborated in my own thinking about this is that modeling is the quickest way to teach someone. In other words, imitate me.
Mm-hmm.
And if that person can imitate you, then it means that they are picking a lot of subtle things up without having to discuss it or talk about it or whatever. And the truth of it is, at least in my philosophy, there's so many things that have to be taught if you're in college level performance.
Mm-hmm.
So many styles. Not only every composer, but each piece by every composer, they have a kind of a way, mainstream kind of interpretation that to put it on sort of, you might say, an acceptable world-class stage, that you have to know. You're going to have to learn a lot about style. So while I believe it's really important that my students own what they do eventually, right? None of you are ever going to play like me exactly. You have your own personalities, you feel a certain way, whatever. But I can teach you parameters of style. And there are, okay, I'll give you that list, but I'm gonna outline basically what a good performance means. Good performance, if you come in for the lesson, you know the rhythms, you keep the rhythm of the piece,
Mm-hmm.
you know the markings, the dynamics, obviously the pitches are all right, you know.
Yeah.
And that you also know something about the style, meaning that, okay, Chopin is not Bartók. for instance, or Grieg is not Bartok. So, and that's something like that. Those things are things I think that you learn from teachers, your apprentice.
Yeah, I mean, so, like, if she was showing me, if I had trouble with the rhythm or something, and she was showing me this piece, she would play this piece as, I would say as bland as she could.
Right.
Because it was up to me to interpret it.
Okay.
So she'd play the notes right, she'd play the rhythms right, but she wouldn't put her interpretation into it.
Well, I would, because maybe it's the apprentice master thing that I'm of two minds. One of them is that you guys need to, do your exploring, digging, listening, you learn to listen. But the main one is that you learn. I always learned most everything I learned on a very high level, or even not that high level, was from someone, either my listening in concerts to the great players play, or somebody really, really good demonstrating. That's how I learned. And that's how a lot of people learn. That's how, and I know that there is this dissonance between, or this kind of debate between piano teachers, like, should we demonstrate or should we let them figure it out? So, and I know every time I ask for a show of hands, whether it's in Minnesota or Sydney, Australia, or wherever, how many of you demonstrate? It's usually only half. And then I'll say, well, why do you do it? Okay, well, I'm showing them how to do it, and they'll pick it up, and then we can move on to even higher levels, And others, I'll say to the others when they don't demonstrate, well, why? Well, we're worried that they'll just be imitators of us, that, that they won't think on their own. But the whole idea of modeling, see, what you want to do is learn as quickly as you can all of these styles, what really beautiful, elegant phrasing is, what's appropriate, what's not. On the world stage, you might say, in a if you go to a master class, I want all my students to be prepared so that whoever flies in is not going to have to worry about, basic stuff, style, rhythms. Also, maybe going, like, if you push that, that's going beyond the style of this piece. Someone would go, why did you do that? 999 times out of 1,000.
Okay.
And so that's it. I mean, so you need to know style, since I know it.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm telling you why I do that.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to know. But I always honor everyone's teachers, and so and there's always a reason, and it can vary sometimes. Sometimes you'll see with some of my older students or people who've been with me longer, I'll dig the idea out of them, because it's high time. They know enough that they can be more imaginative. We were talking about that in class the other day.
And see, she teaches my little brother, and like when she plays a piece, she'll, like, he's 11, so she'll play a piece for him. And we found out James doesn't know how to read music. He's at like level 3, and he's never, he doesn't know how to read music. So she'll play the piece for him, and he'll imitate her. So.
Yeah, so it's the easiest way, right. But you're right. You will need to learn to ignite your own imagination. Okay. But it will be, what I'll be teaching you, every time I make say if it's a comment on your rhythm or rubato or whatever you're doing, or on the parameters of the crescendo or whatever, those are style issues. And you heard me do that the other day, didn't you, with, who was it that was overdid it a little bit?
Robert?
Robert, exactly. Yeah. And now, did you hear it, though? Or did you understand why I made the correction?
I heard it in some parts, but some parts I was confused as to why you were correcting him, because I actually appreciated that over exaggeration. But then some parts he did rubato too many times, and you didn't know where the beat was, and you were just confused. But some parts I actually liked it. So
yeah. Well, what I'm trying to do is bump him up to a higher level of listening, so that he holds a structure together. That's something you'll learn as you hear these things happen, so that you maintain what we call structural cohesion. Now this one, hop up, and I'm going to do the demonstration, because we do it, I do that very differently here. So I'm going to see if you're listening to me and watching, and I'm going to do it a little faster. It takes more key control. top, like you were doing. I like that. See, if I want a long line, I'm not gonna do, if I do, that's gonna call attention to it, and suddenly it's like we've looked at daisies, we've forgotten where we're going. Does that make sense? I wanna lead your ear to, here. So I'm making longer phrases. Now, when you do, that would be within the
yeah,
realm.
see, I would have played that louder than that. Well, and I did play it louder than that, that crescendo.
But it's coming out.
Did you play the grace note?
Huh?
Did you omit the grace note?
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that's there.
See, mine, like that one shows.
You would do
Yeah,
more.
Yeah, a lot more.
Well, and then if it's fortissimo, what if you, or forte, if you want me to do it the whole thing louder, we'll move the box up. If we're still, now this would be down to about, so I'm not gonna make this one as loud as that, because I wanna,
You're dying down.
yeah, exactly. I want the audience to come on this journey with me to right here. And now I'm almost where I would want to be here. And eventually, and then just a little crescendo. Now this is what, now making a long line and not having it boring, so it's moving forward. Sorry. And I would have just maybe a little rallentando right there. So now this piece, by the way, is way beyond what normally I would have people doing in this system right now, because what I demonstrated just now was a lot of key control, it was a lot of touch control, in order to make these smooth things. It's harder, much harder.
Another thing different from like my previous piano teaching is the addition of the soft pedal, like whenever you like.
Well, if I want an echo or something.
Yeah, no, her thing was like if it doesn't say soft pedal, then you don't.
Oh, I see. Well, most of these things aren't edited, so they don't say soft pedal, you know. So these are decisions you make as you're going along. And once again, that's why I think it's really important studying with people, because supposedly when you get your teacher in college, that teacher knows a lot about how things go, what you need to do. Well, that's my training. And so I'll be telling you things that are not only that I've been taught myself by 3 or 4 great teachers in several continents, but also what I've read, what I've studied, what I've, working with great conductors also when I played orchestral piano for 12
I know, it's just like weird, like she got her her master's in teaching piano, so like going from her, I don't know. It's
Where did she go? I wish you knew what her background was, who she studied with and all that.
I don't know.
Oh, well, maybe we could, if she has an internet website or something like that?
It would be, she's an insurance agent on the side, so if you look her up, it would be for
for that,
yeah.
Okay. I wonder where she got her master's, from. I know I did read her, I was going through a whole bunch of files last night for various people, and I did see her letter that she wanted you to be studying with somebody who had at least a master's, on a high level. Of course, in college you would have that. Although I didn't. I had 2 European degrees, which were the highest European conservatory could give. But I hadn't gotten an American master's until I got my doctorate, and then the master's was part of it. in the last 4 years, but, I don't know whether that's why she might not have wanted you to study with me, if she read my bio, but, I'm not sure. So, while I will ask you your opinion, I will assume you assume that I know a lot more than you do about interpretation.
Of course, I'm not disagreeing with anything. I'm not
That's
like,
good.
and I'm not
Because
saying,
I think it's important to, because nowadays, you know, I hear a lot of, there is a way, it's called constructive student-centered learning, which I believe in, with it, obviously you're at the center of this learning, but especially in applied music, it was a big debate in Columbia, actually, Teachers College, about how much you should, the applied teacher, meaning the private teacher in college, should tell the student. I'm going, well, how else do you learn how to be a great musician if you don't study with people who are really good and who've also studied with people who are really good, passing all these things down? But see, I was, some of my colleagues felt that, but some of them didn't. But they weren't not teaching you guys to go out there on the big stage. I'm teaching you to eventually, if you want to, you know, apply to some major schools, play for major players, you know. I mean, the very reasons I was asked to teach on the artist faculty of the Eastman School of Music.
yeah, I'm not like I said.
No,
I'm
you're not. But I'm just saying, I was surprised at my colleagues up at Columbia. But they weren't preparing students to go into the rigorous viper's nest, really, of competitive piano playing, where you have to know what you're doing. I mean, or you'll get absolutely slayed.
And I did want your opinion because Mr. Holter sent out an email for someone to play for the Love Feast, and I didn't.
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
I didn't respond because I.
When
thought,
is the Love Feast?
It's Sunday. I didn't respond because I thought, you know, Robert. He sent this to Robert and everything. I was like, oh, people get it. So no one had responded because they had like church jobs.
Oh.
So today he asked me, and I said yes.
What would you play? The same thing, or would
Yeah,
you?
that's what I was asking me. I have to play a prelude and a postlude,
Oh.
and I can easily sight read the hymn, so that's not a problem.
Oh, okay.
I just
Okay.
wanted your
Okay.
opinion on what should I play for the
prelude and
Mhm.
postlude. What would you play? What a Friend for something else, or?
I think it's too. I wouldn't play it at an event like that.
At an event like that.
Mhm.
Where is it? Is it going to be at
Shirley.
home? Oh, in Shirley.
Mhm. And
That actually would be a good postlude.
a good postlude. Okay.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, before the prelude.
Send them out, because usually, you know, regardless of what sect, Protestant sect or whatever you're in, generally the postlude is pretty rousing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good. So it'd be a question of,
And I forgot to bring. I have a couple of
Yeah,
books
what do you-
that I use
okay.
for piano, and
well, maybe, because I'm giving you, told them we'd start a little late. I haven't reset my clocks. Yeah, maybe like tomorrow no, Wednesday in class, we can go over what you might, or even, you know, just bring it to me tomorrow sometime and we can
Okay.
see. Yeah, tell
I mean,
him you'll
I'd
do it.
like
Tell
to
him you'll
pay
do
it.
it. I
I'd
think
like-
you should.
yeah, no,
Oh, that'd
I've
be
already
great.
said yes. He's
Oh,
already emailed.
good, okay.
So I'd like to play for piano studio just to get like,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
but like before I play for piano studio, I want to like.
Yeah,
practice
yeah,
it,
that'd
so.
be good. Now, and just a couple of minutes before we go up, I'd like to see your two-note stroke
Okay.
thing, to see what's going on there. So,
Yeah, you did give me a couple
yeah,
pieces.
so, good. But I think you have some really nice key control, of the Nordic song. I mean, you
And
know.
I wish that this would have gotten recorded, the lesson where
Oh,
this was had.
yeah.
Because when I'm practicing, I'm just like,
What does it look like? Yeah, I mean, it really is
Well,
what
that's
it
what
looks
it
and
was-
sounds
yeah,
like
so-
together, yeah. All right, so let me just see.
So do you want me to do the quasi adagio first, or
The what?
the second one?
Yeah.
And then when we practice it, sorry, I'm talking
no,
a
it's
lot. When we
okay.
practice it,
Uh-huh.
I play my hands separately, so then the confusion of
Oh, I
if
know,
my
yeah.
right hand's up.
Well, why don't you do it hand separately for
Okay.
me? I think it'd be easier.
See, I haven't.
Go ahead. Can I do that again? I didn't make that clear. Instead of doing Bartok's legato there, just a two-note, watch, lift. It's not the way it's written right now, but we're
So
using it as an
lift,
example.
I'm lifting on the
On
beginning
on
of
the beat of every, yeah,
on every, okay.
on every beat,
Okay.
yeah. Every quarter beat, right, like there. Now you lift here, yeah, right,
Okay.
and that makes that into a two-note stroke, bravo, yeah. Right, good. And it repeats, go ahead. Free fall, that's an A. A, sorry about that, I was still dating.
Sorry, I saw
That was it.
phrasing.
Yeah, that's it. Now here, this is, I won't ask
Is
you to
this
do a free
free fall?
fall,
Okay.
no, yeah. So, but it would be a little stroke, so let's just do your left hand, so, to lift. And that one, make, two little strokes, so here's a stroke, up, two, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now here, that's ridiculous, yeah, for you not to know what that is. We should never put that in there. So it's, so I'll fix that,
Okay.
yeah. G, it's a G.
So then,
I mean, it's right here. Thought I knew that. Write this in. I'm sorry, because it shouldn't have been like that at all. Or is it upstairs?
I think it's upstairs. And
Okay,
one
I think it's upstairs, because,
Mr.
yeah.
Walter said that I was doing is that I'm the lateral movement of my wrist is doing. He said at first you want it to like over exaggerate it, so make sure you're doing it. But once, like he says, I got it now, so don't
Yeah,
like
don't exaggerate. Yeah, no, I think you're doing very, very well, in fact, on this. Now, if you played it not so much with a... Now, just a little bit more the way it's written, very easy. Good. And... And then bring that in on two, I'm sorry, because that other, I know it's, there's a, right, there's an A there. That's a good fault, yeah. And then that, make sure, yeah, drops on all quarters. And then and that's much softer. Yeah, that'd be about
sorry.
B, C.
I saw the.
Oh, I know, right, that's okay. Bartok is filled with all of these different kinds of things. Good, 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 good. All right, now, you're needing, I'm gonna have you go on to 3 notes. 4, 5, 6. Just do that for, oh, we need to go up for the class, but I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's an F sharp.
Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 3 notes. Bravo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good, good. So, and this is, you don't have to hold the note as written right now, it's just a 3-note stroke. So, 4, 5, 6, try it. Yeah, and you can use 5 on all, whatever fits your hand. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Good. To lift, 1, 2. Release the upper arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Release this upper arm. Yeah. So release. The thing you want to work on is releasing this after every one of those. And so you're not releasing this
Sorry,
so much,
I was
this.
thinking,
That's all right.
I was just thinking.
Now right here, as you're lifting, make sure you release the medial deltoid before you move to the next. Now right here, can you release that? Ah, there, you just released it. It's just this area, not this one. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And use a fingering that's comfortable with you, so it's mainly the 5, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, lift. You're forgetting your lift, yeah. So don't go too fast with this. I know you can read and you're focused on the notes right now, but remember they're all about 3-note strokes. So you'll want to rev up the 3-note stroke. And today actually I'm going to show the vitamin, to make sure you all know what the technical vitamin is. Have I gone over that with you?
What?
I have with some of you. That's where it'll show it in the synopsis. We worked on the vitamin. Do you know, does that sound familiar?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Well, it's a pretty simple little thing. Good.
I'm